shopping assistants will provide you the products in the near future, you need to have your data in place now, because otherwise you're missing this opportunity.
Welcome back to another episode of Click to Buy. Today I'm joined by Coen Fredriks, a seasoned e-commerce strategist from Code. With a career in e-com since 2008, he's built a reputation for his expertise in e-com strategy, architecture, and team coaching. His focuses are on Shopify Plus, email automation, cross-border strategies, and optimization. At Code and in his career, he's worked on high-profile projects for brands like Frederic Constant, Alpinestars, ASICS, you name it. And he's shared his insights at other industry events such as DTCX, Immers Live, and Web Winkelwachtdagen, discussing topics like e-commerce growth models, re-commerce, and the future of commerce with Web3 and AI. Currently leading the customer success and sales team at Code, Coen has implemented a business blueprint for e-commerce growth that helps his clients to make informed decisions and grow their businesses. With a track record like this of winning awards and delivering exceptional results, he's passionate about personalization, loyalty programs, international expansion, and the ever-evolving e-commerce landscape. So with a track record like that, you can imagine that's why I thought he would be the perfect guest to have here on the podcast today. Coen, thank you so much for being with me today on Click to Buy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, one of the things I know you're really specialized in with your work at Code is loyalty programs. So I was wondering, maybe to just like kick things off, I can pick your brain on that. Like, how would you go about helping a client set up like a loyalty program?
Yeah, it's definitely a trending topic nowadays. Building loyalty, and main reason is retention, of course, for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I think it's really interesting to focus on is to make it personal. So mainly or most often I see loyalty programs that are just basic programs, but I think there are a lot of opportunities there. So I would say try to make it personal and segmentize. Um, Somebody who's doing this really well is Jay Lindenberg. I don't know if you are on the
Mm-hmm.
loyalty program for Jay Lindenberg, but after signing up, you can you can leave your preferences. So preferences in sport, but also preferences in sizing and fit. And based on that, you can divide the communication channels for that, and make it more personal. I think that's the most important part for loyalty, to make it personal. Then second part is I like to surprise customers.
Okay.
So something that they don't expect. So reward customers if they spend 500 or 1,000 or 1,500 euros with you. Um, uh, that works out pretty well. And also, I think it's really important to do some research on
Mm-hmm.
how to reward customers, because discount is an easy choice, but there are many more options to reward your customers, in my opinion. So that is really important, and stay relevant.
Yeah.
So rethink your strategy every 6 months, every 12 months, and come up with new ideas, and shape your loyalty strategy. It's
Absolutely. I'm curious, when you speak about rewards and really making it personal, if you have any advice or examples of interesting rewards that worked really well for either a brand you work with or one that you've seen.
Yeah, at this moment, a good example is, of course, Alpinestars, because they are a main sponsor of MotoGP and Formula One. So they have entrance to athletes, or products from athletes.
Hmm.
They have access to those exclusive events. So we're just working on the strategy now, and they will provide such rewards like special entrances, or VIP tickets for MotoGP, for Formula One,
Hmm.
signed shirts from athletes. Yeah, those are exceptional, but good examples to think outside the box and come up with real rewarding items.
Absolutely. It sounds like you really helped them find something that was unique that only they could offer to kind of differentiate their rewards, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. But it's also in small business. Well, Alpinestars may be a little bit exceptional, but I'm sure every brand can come up with a unique product or a
Mhm.
reward what their customers like. Um, so you need to rethink and go into depth. What
Mhm.
are their what is it that they like, or what can I create what they like? That's really important to approach your loyalty strategy, I think.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for some of that advice on definitely a trending topic in the space. I guess kind of shifting gears, if you will. One of the things I know you've helped a lot of brands with is with their international expansion. So I would love to hear just kind of like if you have any kind of basic framework or basic steps that maybe brands should keep in mind when they want to go global, especially if they're in the Shopify space.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. Also, cross-border is trending topic, especially from
Mhm.
out the Netherlands, which is such a small country, of course, and you want to expand pretty fast
Yeah.
to enlarge your market. I'm also joining the expert group of Shopping Tomorrow, and
Mhm.
the topic is go cross border. So yeah, I gained a lot of insights recently about this topic. Yeah, answering your question, first thing you need to do is define your market, and a country is not a market.
Mhm.
It can also be a region that you want to focus on. And so, yeah, how to define the market is when you want to aim for a different price strategy, for instance,
Mhm.
or making different marketing campaigns for specific regions. Can also be you want to make use of different domains in order
Mhm.
for SEO purposes or trust purposes, because Germans, for instance, like to have a DE domain. Can be UX, so you want to have a different customer journey. It can be tax related, so you want to gain local taxes, or you want to send out custom duty paid products to UK or the US, or you want to show a different catalog
Mhm.
per market, or you want to provide local payments. So this is the first step. Those check boxes you need to check how you want to approach which market. And when you have defined your market, you can decide, okay, what languages I want to provide in this market, what currencies do I want to provide in this market, and how will I go for which domain redirection. So those are basically the principles. It's quite simple, but something you
Yeah.
need to think of before you start.
Absolutely. I really like how you define maybe some of the things that you have to decide. Is this something we can globally have in all of our kind of storefronts, and what needs to really be localized in order to have success in a specific region or market?
Yeah.
Abs- Absolutely. I'm curious if you could, especially having worked with a lot of brands that have tried to do this, if you could think of just like one really common maybe mistake or pitfall that or trap that brands have fallen into when trying to go global. Do you have any advice on how you can kind of overcome that?
Well, the biggest, yeah, let's say challenge
Hmm.
is mainly fulfillment.
Mm.
So sending out international, it comes with a lot of challenges there. So, like I said, do you want to send out custom duty paid in order to get your stuff at the customer, but also don't bring extra cost to your customers. I
Yeah.
think that's a big challenge. Also, return handling in that case is a big challenge. So th- that is something you need to think of. And I have some customers who did a pretty good job. So so they send out from the Netherlands, but looking for a local location where the returns can sent back to, and from there they have a strategy how to move forward with this stock position there. Yeah, that's the main challenge, but also multilingual customer service. So if you go to a market, but you cannot provide local customer
Mm.
service in a local language, yeah, that's quite of a pitfall. So think of that, and yeah, maybe you're also familiar with Gorgeous. They have now Gorgeous Automate,
Hmm.
which can handle a lot of customer requests, and they're doing a great job of automation and also localization nowadays. So more and more there will be provide really great software to come over those pitfalls. But yeah, still there's a lot to do, and there are a lot of challenges going cross border.
Absolutely. So definitely if you're listening in and you're thinking about going global, take all this advice, soak it in, keep it in mind, and I guess you know who to reach out to over here at Code if you need some help with that.
Thanks.
And maybe switching to another e-commerce trend. So I know you've mentioned to me before that with Alpine, you've seen that agile development, I believe, was a like strategy that has worked really well. I would love to hear your thoughts on this trend and maybe what you've seen success-wise.
Yeah, I think it's crucial to make your e-commerce beneficial to go for this agile approach. And
Hmm.
it was really nice to see that the Alpinestars team also was familiar already with the agile approach. But how it works high over
Hmm.
is that, so we allocating a sprint of development. So let's say 60 hours, 120 hours a month of development. Uh, First, we start with defining a backlog with growth features. So we started with a roadmap, what kind of growth features we want to implement coming 12 months. And a growth feature is also a high over implementation. So it can be, for instance, loyalty. So, okay, when do we want to implement loyalty? And together with the customer, we decide what gets priority. So which growth feature we want to implement. And as soon as it gets relevant, we deep dive into the growth feature. Definitely. So we define which growth feature gets priority. We deep dive into
Hmm.
that growth feature. So now we're working on the loyalty growth feature. So we create a strategy. We define
Hmm.
which software suits the best. From there, we create customer stories, how it actually should work. We go to the
Hmm.
development team, implement it, and go live with it as soon as possible. And the most important part here is that we try to work on a POC, so proof of concept. So really
Hmm.
small implementation, learn from the data and iterate it continuously, and build the rocket ship out of it. So yeah, aim for the POC and move forward from there. That's,
Absolutely. I'm kind of building on what you said. I'm really curious because you mentioned like there's lots of different tech that companies use to try to maybe make the most out of Shopify, but obviously that can result in sometimes a more bloated tech stack. How do you help companies or what do you advise companies to come up with an approach that allows them to use Shopify to its fullest potential without having that kind of humongous tech bloat?
yeah. So the main aim is to stay as close as Shopify as possible.
Okay.
So, for instance, search is a good example. Huh? Nowadays, Shopify is providing a great search solution, or it's a great solution, but it can be better, and it's becoming better.
Hmm.
But like, let's say 1 year ago, 1.5 year ago, you should implement an external software solution in order to provide a search solution on your web shop. So that's a good example. So moving back to Shopify sometimes and stay as close as possible. And yeah, we are doing a lot of research on what solution suits best into Shopify. And we aim to provide a small, medium, large solution to clients. So
Hmm.
for some clients, search is really I said important. For other, it doesn't. So based on the importance of the solution, we try to advise, yeah, a large solution or a mid solution, and yeah, reviewing and auditing your apps that you have installed from time to time. It's really important.
Absolutely. I think that's the easiest way indeed is just like check in. Are you using it? Are you having the success that you hope to achieve with installing this app? And also, can Shopify also do it perhaps better now with different updates? Who knows?
Yeah, it's becoming better and better. Well, they spend over a billion in resources, and they have
Mhm.
4,000 developers working on this SaaS solution. So yeah, definitely it's becoming better and better over time. And I'm really looking forward for next week when they will announce all kinds of new features. Um,
Absolutely.
so yeah, it's on the move.
Absolutely. So definitely be on the lookout for the Shopify editions coming soon. Maybe we'll have to ask you for a couple quotes to put in the blog when this episode goes live on your thoughts on any of those developments.
Yeah, definitely. I will share my insights after next week about the new features.
Very, very
Yeah.
exciting. I would love to also pick your brain on another trend that we have seen,
Yeah.
re-commerce. Maybe just to start things off, you can explain for people who don't know what that means. What is
Yeah.
re-commerce?
Well, re-commerce is providing the opportunity for your customers to
Hmm.
resell the product that they bought before with you. And well, since Vinted is on the rise, I think
Yeah.
we are all know that it's working and it's very popular. But it's also a huge opportunity, in my opinion, for e-commerce brands. And why? Because of the frequency. One of my growth pillars I always look
Hmm.
into is frequency. You want to be stay in contact with your customers, and the you need people to come back in order to have to make your e-commerce profitable and successful. So, and this is a big opportunity for that. So, take in mind if people come back to their account and they can resell their purchases they did before,
Hmm.
and you can reward them, of course, by sending them the refund of the where the product is sold for. But you can also lift the price a little bit and reward them with store credits. And with those store credits, they can buy new stuff or
Hmm.
also resold products. So it can be really helpful in order to get customers back selling their stuff, and with their earnings sell new stuff. And in this case, yeah, your brand will be stay relevant, and we see that it
Hmm.
will uplift the frequency enormously, which help your e-commerce.
Absolutely. I think there's also a certain amount of trust when when like on the customer side, you can understand that like it's being resold by someone, but kind of still facilitated through the company. Like for example, I know TicketSwap is a big app for like reselling tickets, but now on Ticketmaster, you can also like resell on Ticketmaster. And just like I think the trust there of not getting scammed feels like a little bit higher because it's still somehow facilitated through Ticketmaster rather than maybe someone who's made a fake account. Although I think TicketSwap does a pretty good job at stopping scammers, I think still like kind of in your mind, maybe like there's a little bit of that trust factor.
Yeah, definitely. Well, as an example, Ami Paris, it's a high fashion
Hmm.
luxury brand. When you look on Vinted, all the prices are still on the product. So
Mm.
I think
Hmm.
at least the half is fake that people are selling
Yeah.
there. And now Amy Paris also provides the resale domain. So yeah, of course, people will go preferably towards Amy Paris instead of Vinted. But
Hmm.
talking about Vinted, it's also a good exercise. if you want to check if resale can work for you, look at Vinted,
Mm,
how much people are following your brand on Vinted. It's sometimes surprisingly how much people are following a brand. So from time to time, I look it up for my clients, for merchants, and show it. Hey, you've 10 or 20,000 followers on Vinted. So maybe you need to rethink if reselling strategy can be in place for you.
absolutely. I think that's a really hot tip to take from this episode already. Like, if you're curious if there might be an opportunity for you there, indeed, check out where people are already buying your product that's being resold, and then you could adapt that strategy for your own brand if you see that there's clearly a need out there for it
Yeah, and
or
imagine
demand.
if a couple of thousand people come back to you to your web shop instead of Vinted, it will for sure uplift your frequency.
Definitely. Have you helped any of so you mentioned you've chatted with some merchants, showed them Vinted. Do you have an example of any client you've worked with recently who is this you've set up maybe like a re-commerce program with?
Yeah, Namook is the Switch brand. They have it
Mhm.
already implemented, and at this moment, 10 days is implementing resale. So really looking forward how that will work for them.
Absolutely. Well, any brands that are out there, definitely keep an eye on this trend. I'm curious if you have any other trends you can kind of spill some details on for us here for our listeners. It could be anything about like the future of AI or Web3 or anything that like would be good to know or think about, keep in the back of our heads.
Yeah, one that it's also really trending, but also stays in connection with the cross border is that people want their content translated by AI. Could
Okay.
be they think it's easy, but it's not that easy still. But
Yeah.
I see examples where you can have large learning models, which you can learn the tone of voice of your business. And
Mm.
then with AI, in combination of this large learning models, you can translate your content. And let's say it's 90%, 95% accurate or good. So it needs some reviewing. So I guess this will be speed up the involvement of this, and maybe within a year we have an easy solution here to translate your content, but also your customer service
Hmm.
properly. Yeah, and I think yeah, we will get shopping assistance from out AI.
Oh.
So I think if you know this, so shopping assistants will provide you the products in the near future. You need to have your data in place now because otherwise you're missing this opportunity. But yeah, for sure, I have the belief that within a year or within 2 or 3 years, the bots know you better than you know yourself and provide you all kinds of products. So you can ask your bot to come up with some summer outfits,
Hmm.
even maybe discuss the price or debate the price, and they will order it for you. So knowing this, you should be now ready for within 2 or 3 years. So get your data in place is really important at this time, I think.
Absolutely. I think like we're already seeing so many of these like parts of what you're talking about being implemented, but when it could all come together in some sort of like shopping assistant, I think that will just indeed change the way people shop online. I was shopping online the other day and I don't remember even what I was buying, but they asked like, what size are you in other brands? Like if you have this sort of thing, like they got all this information. And by the time I went back to the store again another time, it already was recommending like, oh, based on your size and the profile that you filled out, check out this stuff. And there was stuff that was super similar to what I had looked at before, but also some things that kind of caught my eye. And that level of personalization really makes you want to like keep clicking and keep shopping, which is obviously the goal of a lot of merchants.
Yeah, so nice to hear. And but yeah, and I think we're still in the beginning of this
Mhm.
of this trend, so it will become better and better over time.
Absolutely. We had another guest on a couple episodes ago, Linda, who also looks at ecom trends, Linda Bustos, and she mentioned that one thing she had seen was that kind of chatbot. Some merchants she's seen have really tried to play around with where can you have this kind of like AI chat in like a product page, and some of their merchants had tried it in like multiple different spots, and for some brands it had like failed spectacularly, but for others, like having it in the right spot had like really made a difference in people getting the questions they needed without having like way too much detail on the product page. So I think there's a lot of innovation in this space to be seen.
Yeah, and there are so many products that need explanation, or there are so many differences. For instance, a kite, a kite
Mhm.
web shop. There are so many opportunities and solutions within kite surfing. So yeah, to like you said, having a shopping assistant on your
Mhm.
PDP or in your shop, providing the right information and the right advice for several customers, it's necessary. Yeah, right? And it's a big step, I think, in e-commerce. Such solutions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, as Cohen said, make sure that you have that data being collected now. That way, you can also ride the wave of this trend if we're going to stick on the kite surfing. But before I let you go, unfortunately, we're reaching near the end of the episode. I have to know this is click to buy. So, we like to have advice that helps people improve their customer journey, hopefully, their conversion rate. But of course, it's not about the conversion rate, it's about helping your customers shop better so that then they do convert. So I was wondering if you have any hot tips or click-worthy tips that you can drop from your experience in the e-commerce space.
So I already mentioned the importance of frequency and also get to know your customer and what they want. I think it's key to think of and to do research of
Mhm.
what is it that they want for the second purchase and the third purchase, because we know that after a third purchase, more than 50% of the customers will come back. So it will definitely uplift your frequency. So the second and the third purchase are key, and focus on that and make that happen, because I think frequency is key to making your e-commerce successful.
Absolutely. I love that quote. I think that'll make a nice teaser when we promote this episode. So, thank you so much, Cohen, for being on Click to Buy today. Obviously, I know where to find you since I was able to reel you on to be a podcast guest. But for anyone who's still listening, where can they find you and Code online if they want to reach out to you or learn more of your tips?
Yeah, so if you want to follow me, I'm most active on LinkedIn. So it's just my name. So linkedin.com slash Coen Fredriks. And for code, of course, you can reach out to code.nl. Can find all about our services and cases that we did recently.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for being a guest. I loved our discussion today.
Yeah, same here. Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun. And, I wish you
Absolutely.
all the best.
Well, for all of you who are still listening, again, I'm your host, Becca Anderson. This has been another great episode of Click to Buy, where we got all the different trending e-commerce tips to look out for from Cohen. I wouldn't be a good marketer if I didn't remind you to please like and subscribe. That way we can make even more of these episodes. And until next episode, keep turning those clicks into buys.